Hey guys, it's Untitled here, and welcome back to another review. This time we're going to be taking a look at the premium Bandai exclusive DX Mumiken, Kyomu, and Haken Bladriver from Kamen Rider Saber's movie, The Phoenix Swordsman and the Book of Ruin. Now, like I mentioned before, this is the first of many premium Bandai exclusive belts to be released in the Kamen Rider Saber toy line. This was originally in the movie, which had a December release date, and then furthermore got a toy release date in March. And like with all of my other Saber reviews, I picked mine up at Tokullectibles, which I will leave a link in the description below if they still have this item in stock. And as of this recording, this is probably going to be out a little while after I filmed the review for both Emotional Dragon and, of course, the Dogoken Gekido review, because I want to get these two out of the way before I move on to the big thing. Because if you guys have already watched my last two videos on this item, I already talked about the dialogue functionality and the functionality with the other Winter Ride books, just to get that out of the way. But I will briefly touch up on them here because I want to be in-depth as possible. So here we have the Eternal Phoenix Winter Ride book, and our first Winter Ride book to have a black cover as this recording, aside from probably Durandal, but his item has yet to be even be announced or released at any capacity as of right now. But take a closer look, though, at the Winter Ride book itself. As you can see, it's got this nice, very jet black coloring there. NFC reader there. And some very nice orange plastic as well. Black and orange is a really nice color combination. On the front here, we have your standard little mythical creature Winter Ride book, this being Eternal Phoenix, in nice orange and burgundy colored letters, as well as the nice image of the Immortal Phoenix as well. Very nice little detailed picture. Like with all the Winter Ride books beforehand, I always did enjoy them taking extra precautions with the art detailing and such. And for comparison, here is Eternal Phoenix next to Brave Dragon. As you can see, the black is normally for the sides, and the base color is for the covers, but this time around it's swapped. Opening the book up, you get the the Eternal Phoenix itself on the synopsis page. Very nice fiery detailing as well surrounding the whole thing. And of course, we also do get the tail patterns, the flames, the bird itself, and so on and so forth. Now that we got all that out of the way, let's check out the sounds. Now that we got all that out of the way, let's go ahead and check out what it makes in the sword driver itself. Now that we got all of that out of the way, let's go ahead and take a look at the actual driver itself. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the Mumiken Kyomu before we actually talk about the buckle. As you can see, the Mumiken Kyomu is cast in a very nice, glossy black coloring, as well with some orange highlights around the handle grip and the trigger, as well as some nice silver metallic paint on the handle grip as well. But yeah, as you can see, though, this thing is very reflective for the holographic black finish as well. But however, though, that does not mean, though, that this will suffer the Saber problem with the sword driver. Now, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, when most people got their copies of the Haken sword driver, the more that they used it, the more that these little black stress marks appear every now and then on the actual sword itself. Now, on my copy, unfortunately, it's not that hard or anything like that, but my friend Kakure did mention that his sword driver has got some really bad scratches from whenever he used it in his videos, and that's pretty much all I'm going to say about that. But Taking a quick look at it again, you can definitely see that there is some usage right here on the very tip right there. As you can see, there's some scratches there and some scratches there. I mean, it's all black. I mean, it's not really that noticeable, but it is a bit of a pain that this applies to their premium Bandai item, which is a little bit upsetting. But getting back on track, though, we also do have very nice transparent detailing as well, because if you take a look at the sword driver again, as you can see, it's got some really nice molding detailing alongside the background. This time around, though, they changed that with a more phoenix tail pattern as well, with some orange and some gray as well. And of course the reader right here, which is normally at the top here, but for the sake of argument, it's moved down here. But however, though, a lot of people were saying that it's not even centered, which is very upsetting, because in the preliminary images, the initial images, it said it was going to be centered, but it's more leaning towards the left side. Personally, I do not mind this change that much, because it doesn't really bother me, and plus you're going to probably display it with the buckle attached to it. So this doesn't really bother me all that much. But what is interesting, though, is the little crest, or the emblem for Falchion. And as you can see right here, it's actually cast in a nice glossy black trimming here, while the rest is this nice metallic orange. And this is removable, since these are basically the same mold from the Seiken sword driver. But another thing that's interesting, though, is that there is no NFC reader here as well. So basically, whenever you turn the thing on, you can't just like have it scan it. And this will not work in the sword driver either. But the detail is still the same. Pretty much everything is still the same beats. And let me move my camera up a little bit. Bringing in the sword driver itself, as you can see, a very nice comparison. They're both evenly sized. However, though, one thing that is different is that this thing is has a little bit more weight to it than this, because this thing is actually extremely light because of the lesser functionality and the less amount of electronics than the actual sword driver itself. And for the sake of argument, here it is next to the Angoken Kurayami as well. Very nice little size difference here and there. And of course, for the sake of argument, here is the Mumiken Kyomu with the Rekka symbol, and here it is. And here is the Seiken sword driver with the Kyomu symbol. Here's the Bladriver itself with the Rekka symbol, and here's the Seiken sword driver with the Kyomu symbol. Now that we got all of that out of the way, let's take a look at the actual Haken Bladriver itself. As you can see, it is done quite beautifully with the orange plastic as well, combining with the black plastic of the additional stone piece as well. The gold chrome bits are now replaced with this matted black finish alongside the paint, which is very glossy as well and very nice to the touch. I don't think this will scratch as easily as the gold chrome on the sword driver, but give or take. But there is this extra piece, though, that actually covers up the middle and third slots of the actual sword driver itself, cast in the nice same orange plastic as well, with the nice little bird black wings as well going around the sides here, as well as down here as well. And on the back, it's just nothing much else to write home about. There is the little scanning area as well, because this basically is the sword driver, just with another attachment screwed onto the back. And no, you cannot remove it, because why would you want to remove it? And of course, for a comparison, here it is next to the actual Seiken driver, the actual belt piece itself. As you can see, very much the same in terms of detailing, aside from the gold chrome on the front. Also, one more thing is to mention is that while the actual slots themselves have these little molded detailings, this thing is left completely clear as well. Okay, enough stalling. Now let's get to the main attraction, this being the actual sounds that it makes. So, turning it on, you get a nice bright orange LED light to signal the activation, and when you hit the trigger, a very nice light up detail going over everything in the actual detailings of the toy itself, and a very nice pulsing light that is on camera, which is always appreciated. And when you start the thing into the driver itself, you get a very interesting sound. Honestly, I really love that sound. Now there is also the sound, the Memorial Sound Edition when it comes to this thing. So basically how you activate that is when you turn it off, hold down the trigger and turn it back on again, you actually do get the Sound Edition. So, which is voiced by Amazon Alpha at /Go Blue. And of course when you hit the trigger you get your generic grunts and slashing attacks as well. However, though, I will not be going into this for the rest of this review because I already made a separate video in detail about that. So if you haven't already watched that, there'll be a card up here. But now let's just get back to business. Now, like with the Second Sword Driver itself, all you have to do is you have to insert the book into the slot, and then the rest will follow. Like so. You got a very nice transformation sequence. And there you go. I do like the pause that they have for the transformation, because normally it would say unsheath the, but since it just says unsheath, there's no point in having anything else happen in it. And I do also like how it gets short and simple with the explanation of the story throughout the mission. So that's a nice little detail as well. And getting a closer look here at the actual Henshin page itself, as you can see, we got a very nice detailed picture of Falchion with the ever-spreading wing detailing on the front, as well as the black cracks, or wings, rather, on his suit design there. Very nice little detail there, and I love how everything's all dark and muted alongside the background of the void, with that orange light fluorescing on his body. On the left side here, we just got the rest of the armor there, as well as the hand doing the signature saber pose that was with the Brave Dragon. The Brave Dragon Henshin page, and for comparison, here are the two right next to each other. As you can see, there's not really much of a difference between these two, but aside from the right pages, but the left pages are pretty much the same, except for probably the shoulder pads. Now, you do get some finishers and such with the Mumiken and Kyomu, so let's go ahead and get right into that. One more thing is also worth mentioning is that the Mumiken Kyomu also has specific sounds used for any of the Wonder Ride books that are being used. And like I already mentioned beforehand, I already went over all the sounds that were included in a separate video with all the Wonder Ride books that I have in my collection. So for the sake of an argument, I will not be doing all three of these at once, but I will be demoing the Brave Dragon Wonder Ride book with Mumiken Kyomu, just for the sake of including it in the review, so that way I touch all the bases. Because unlike it when it scans Eternal Phoenix, you actually do get something completely different when it comes to a certain Wonder Ride book. As you can see, the light turned red. Yeah. As you can see, it just stayed red and said, "The mythical beast will erase everything," and it will do the same thing for the animals as well as the certain stories. So basically, nothing really changes, and also including the legend riders as well as the mythical beasts. And finally, we also do have our Saber Attacks, and then we can wrap this up. And once again, like I mentioned, this thing does scan other Winter Ride books as well. It just basically distinguishes them as their separate little Winter Ride book detailing, and as well as identifies them as such. Since Spirit Dragon is a fire dragon, it says Fire Dragon. So overall, I really do like the Mumiken Kyomu. I think it's a very nice little movie exclusive rider belt, as well as an ancient device as well. And I'm honestly glad that I invested in this, because this is actually a lot more interesting and a lot cooler than what I was originally expecting, because I thought it was just going to be your typical secondary belt that was only going to have limited amount of functionality. But I was extremely wrong, though, in this case, because there actually was a lot more functionality as well as playability with this as well. And in terms of the belt clips, it came with this just the sword driver's version, except just in all silver, and those are still sitting in the box because I don't really think I'll be wearing this anytime soon, unless I do a henshin video of it. But with that being said, though, thank you guys so much for watching, and if you like this video, feel free to drop a like and subscribe for more content, and check out my other Saber reviews as well as my Zenkaiju reviews, because like I said, I'm filming this right now, but this will be uploaded way much later when I actually get the Tokullectibles Gekido video, and as well as the Emotional Dragon video out of the way. So hopefully by the time this comes out, you guys have already caught up on those, and this is the last review I'm going to be doing for Saber until they release the final forms for Saber, as well as Blades, depending on if I actually pick it up or not. But with that being said, though, this is Gosei 1290 signing out, and see you next time.